Think about the last time you walked out of a high-stakes job interview. You probably spent weeks preparing your answers, yet as you cross the threshold to leave, you feel a disconnect. You realize you failed to project the confidence you possess. There is a specific protocol to bridge that gap. It is a tech-free physical intervention that takes exactly 2 minutes to execute. You don't need any special equipment to do this. It only requires your body, a few feet of privacy, and 120 seconds on the clock. Success in these intense evaluations rarely comes down to having the perfect responses. It depends on your biological configuration before you even open the door. Step 1 is the posture audit. Right now, check what you are doing with your body. Are your legs crossed? Are your arms folded defensively? Or are your ankles wrapped together? This is what behavioral scientists call contracted posture. Across the animal kingdom and in humans, making yourself physically smaller functions as a biological signal of powerlessness. This leads to the most common mistake people make right before an evaluation. You sit in the waiting room, pull out your phone, and hunch over the screen to check your notes one last time. By wrapping yourself up and making yourself tiny, you command your brain to enter a state of submission. Our default habits with technology force us into the lowest power pose possible. You end up surrendering your presence to the room before the interview even starts. Step 2 requires you to leave that waiting room and seek out a space of total isolation. Find a bathroom stall, an empty stairwell, or step into a vacant elevator. This brings us to a crucial rule. You must never perform this step in front of the person interviewing you or your audience. If you display high-powered, dominant body language directly at someone else, humans naturally complement that behavior. Instead of mirroring you, they will instinctively close up and become defensive. This protocol serves as a private feedback loop between your body and your mind, used to signal confidence directly back to your own brain. Step 3 is the execution. The entire objective here is to expand. You need to take up the maximum amount of physical space possible. There are 2 effective ways to do this. First is the Wonder Woman stance, standing tall, hands firmly on hips, feet wide apart. The alternative is the Victory V, stretching your arms fully straight up with your chin slightly elevated. Set a 2-minute timer and hold that expansive pose unbroken. Your testosterone, the dominance hormone, rises by 20%, configuring your brain to be assertive and optimistic. Simultaneously, cortisol, your baseline stress hormone, drops by 25%. You are now biologically fortified against anxiety. Do not make the mistake of dropping the pose after 30 seconds. This chemical sequence requires the full 120 seconds to finalize its cycle. Expanding your posture activates a biological process, turning the body into a factory for leadership chemistry. Step 4 is entering the arena. When that timer goes off, drop the physical pose immediately. Return to a normal stance, but carry that new internal chemistry with you. Walk out of your isolated space and step directly into the interview room. Stop obsessing over your rehearsed lines. Do not try to construct perfectly structured sentences, and do not pull out your phone to review your notes one last time. You will likely face interviewers trained to give you absolutely no nonverbal feedback. Researchers call this standing in social quicksand. But because your cortisol is low, you can sit through that intimidating silence without panicking. The goal here isn't to deliver a flawless presentation. The goal is to strip away the anxiety that clouds your performance, leaving only your true, authentic self in the room. When people first hear about this protocol, they often worry about imposter syndrome. They fear that artificially inflating their confidence will make them feel like a fraud who doesn't belong in that room. You've probably heard the advice to fake it till you make it, but that implies you are just pretending. This protocol facilitates a measurable biological change in your brain. Repeated use of this routine creates a permanent shift in how you carry yourself. You internalize the confidence until the high power state becomes your identity. Before your next major evaluation, find 2 minutes of complete privacy. Perform the posture audit and execute the expansive pose. Small, private changes to your physical presence can influence the most meaningful outcomes of your career. Share this with someone facing a major interview. All it takes is 2 minutes of privacy.